Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And over the last 5 months, China has been belligerently knocking on India's border, but India has made it clear that this is a new India of 2020 and a more firm India, a country that's not scared of taking decisive action. In a major diplomatic masterstroke, India has managed to threaten Beijing in its own backyard. After 13 years, finally, Australia has decided to sail with India and conduct the Malabar exercises in the Indian Ocean region along with India, United States, Japan. Australia's coming in at this point in time has given a huge fillip to India and its diplomatic victory, putting pressure on China. The four navies of Indo-Pacific democracies will be carrying out extensive war games in not just the Indian Ocean but also over the Arabian Sea. These four countries, known as the Quad, have already formed an initial military alliance against an expansionist country like China, and this is a measure, this is a maneuver that hasn't really gone down well with China. So tonight, on the news hour, my legitimate question is just this. Is China isolated in its own backyard? That's the question and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the news hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate is Kanwal Sibal, former Foreign Secretary. Joining me live, General V.P. Malik, again former Chief of Army from Chandigarh, Major General Ashok Mehta, defense expert on our show tonight, and of course Sunit Chopra and Nalin Kohli continue to be with us. I want to go across first to Mr. Kanwal Sibal. Mr. Kanwal Sibal, how important is Australia's participation in these Quad exercises which are happening after 13 years? Is this going to make China nervous? Or as China points out, this is India buckling down to Australia just to score a brownie point at this point in time, rather short-sighted. How do you see it?
No, I would analyze it a bit differently. I think Japan's inclusion in the exercise was much more important politically, geopolitically, than Australia's, because there is a territorial dispute between Japan and China. Japan is feeling threatened by China's military moves against the Senkaku Islands, and Japan has a huge economic relationship with China. And Japan is curbed by its own constitution not to take responsibilities in the defense sphere. The fact that they decided to overcome some of these inhibitions and join the Malabar exercise on a permanent basis was a very important geostrategic step that they took. Australia actually complements that and adds more heft to the Malabar exercise. India, in fact, had reservations about Australia joining in for a variety of reasons, including the debate within Australia about the wisdom of the Australian government's antagonizing China by pursuing the American line on China. And they have been knocking at our door, but finally India has agreed. I think India was a bit reluctant also, especially now when the negotiations were going on in Ladakh, so as not to add to the complications of these negotiations and maintain as congenial an atmosphere as possible. The fact that we have now agreed that Australia should join actually sends a signal that the negotiations with China are not going well, and India has decided that they must step up pressure. And this is a pressure point that has been raised against China. But finally, I would like to clarify, it is not a military alliance. Actually, there's no need for a military alliance. Even the U.S. Deputy Secretary of State who came here said quite clearly that they are not looking for old style of alliances between bases and military deployments on each other's territory and this and that. This is a new kind of an alignment of military interests between India, U.S., China, Japan, and Australia. So I think we shouldn't get into that kind of interpretation of it being a military
General
alliance.
V.P. Malik, do you see it in the same manner as Mr. Kanwal Sibal, or do you think that India getting Australia also on board at this point in time does put pressure on China, because China has come out and made statements. And you know, when Global Times begins to report that under the garb of border conflict, India is promoting materialization of Quad, and the Galwan border conflict is being used as some sort of an excuse to eliminate opposition within the Quad. How do you see it, General VP Malik?
Navika, firstly, I agree with Ambassador Sibal. It is not a military alliance. At the moment, it doesn't work out to be military. It doesn't have that kind of infrastructure. And I'm not too sure whether any of the countries at this stage want to make it a military alliance. So as far as that is concerned, let's leave it at that. Yes, Australia joining the Malabar exercise, which we have been doing since '93, I think, is a major step, because there was a time when Australia did not have any agreement with us on security issues. They were very sensitive to our own Navy moving around in the Indian Ocean, particularly towards the South China Sea, etc. But today things have changed. And obviously what has made Australia join Malabar exercises as well as be part of the Quad is primarily the expanding naval power, or the Chinese Navy wanting to dominate the Indian Ocean, Indo-Pacific Ocean, and also its activity of the kind of ports that they are trying to build in the Indian Ocean littoral states. So to that respect, I would say that this is primarily a kind of exercise which is up for the Navy, for the maritime purposes.
So you're saying it's positioning which is important. It's not a military alliance. Lieutenant General Ashok Mehta, do you think India has increased its diplomatic stature, which is why at this stage building pressure on China at a time when there is a face-off in Ladakh will be helped with these kind of alliances that we form along the way?
I think that is the main point of the discussion, that whether what India has done on the kind of choices it has made in relation to expanding the scope of the Malabar exercises. Remember, in 2007, not only were there these 4 democratic countries, but there was also Singapore as part of the Malabar series. And this is the 24th exercise that will be held. So the second point I want to make is that this can never be a military alliance unless India is prepared to forfeit its strategic autonomy. Strategic autonomy is something that India covets very dearly. And we have not reached that stage with India-China relations where the Rubicon is to be crossed. And at the moment, on the LAC, the discussions are at a stage where the pressure point have to be established so that during the negotiations, our negotiators have a bargaining chip. And the fact that on the night of 29/30th, we were able to preempt Chinese occupation of certain heights on the Kailash Ridge.
Absolutely, at a time when negotiations are on, it is pressure points that India needs to have on its side, giving a little bit of an elbow room to our negotiators. The Quad ends up doing just that at this point, even if it's not going to be a full military alliance in the true sense of the word. The fact is, China is feeling the pressure. The pressure is revealed in statements that come out in the mouthpiece of China in Global Times. And this is clearly pressure tactics that India has succeeded in building up. How far does this go in improving the situation and the negotiations along the LAC in Ladakh? We'll wait and watch. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the News Hour tonight. Good night from me, viewers. I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow evening on the News Hour at 9.